This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.
Bobbi G joining us, our hypnotherapist, our life and business coach, and so much more with Hypnosis for Life. We welcome you back to the show today. How's everything?
Thank you, Jill. Everything's wonderful.
Great.
I survived a week with the grandchildren.
How did that go? How old are they again?
Oh, 8 months and almost 3.
God bless.
Yeah, I need a vacation.
I understand. Isn't that amazing how that happens? It's like, wait, I used to do this? What? How? It's a lot.
I know. But I only had one. 2 is twice as much fun.
Oh gosh. Well, God bless you with that. And for those that don't know a little bit about yourself, Bobbi, tell us what you do. Thank you.
Well, I'm beginning to start to think of myself as a transformational coach because I actually help people transform their lives. So I do that. I'm a certified hypnotherapist and an author and speaker, and I cook, clean, sew. No, I'm just joking.
I love it.
I do it all. Jill of all trades, remember?
Exactly. Thank you so much. Exciting.
Yes, thank you. Yep. So today, I believe we're going to be talking about stress and anxiety.
Mm-hmm.
How's that work for you? Do you have stress?
Uh-huh. A lot, always. Please help me. Yes. Help us
Okay.
all,
Do you have
please.
anxiety?
Yeah, I do.
I know a lot of people do. Okay, there is a difference between the two. Okay,
Tell us.
stress is typically temporary. Okay, say simple things like deadlines. You have a
Okay.
deadline. Your body reacts to the stress because you're under pressure. So the bills are due. Deadlines. Okay, it's Friday and the daycare is closed, but you have to be at work. These are stressors in our lives, but they're temporary. They don't hang on. However, when we have a lot of stress piled on, it can create anxiety. Now, anxiety is more born of worry and fear, and it can hang on and it can hang on and hang on and hang on. But however, with both of them, remember I mentioned the sympathetic nervous system. Your heart races, maybe your stomach gets upset, you don't sleep well. These are reactions to either one of these, and you don't want this to continue. The anxiety is when people, seek out help, professional help. They apply medication and things like that.
Okay.
However, the way hypnosis would approach a lot of my clients have anxiety. They're just overwhelmed, and they've been overwhelmed for a very long time.
Oh,
And it begins to affect your ability to handle your life.
yeah.
Things start to fall to the wayside. You don't get things done. You miss things. You forget appointments. Things back up. And then it creates more stress, and then you become even more overwhelmed because you've just got too much going on. You actually need take a step back and take a breather for a second, collect your thoughts. But hypnosis would address anxiety, for instance. That's when it's time to go deep. And by go deep, I mean regression therapy, which is a lot of what I do. And there's several different techniques for doing that. We'll just touch on anxiety, because I say stress is usually, it should be temporary. Okay, but because you're going to get that deadline, you're going to find somebody to take care of the kids, you're going to find your cell phone, you're going to get to the meeting on time. So stress can be temporary. It's the anxiety that we worry about, getting
Sure
out of
do.
control,
Oh,
right? Getting out
yes.
of control and making your life miserable, and then you're just, it can really get bad. It can really get out of control, anxiety. So with my clients, I find out their biggest, whatever emotion they're feeling the most.
Mm-hmm.
Fear, worry, same thing, but whatever they tell me, that's the emotion that when I get them into hypnosis, by relaxing them down, as we did a little bit with the self-hypnosis, but more and deeper, and go relaxing them down. Then we follow that feeling. We follow the fear. We follow the fear. We follow the fear. We follow the fear to the first incident. And in hypnosis, it's called the initial sensitizing event.
Okay.
ISE. Okay.
Okay.
So
Never
it's
heard
the
of that.
initial. Okay. It's the initial event that created this fear in them. Okay.
Okay.
So, and a lot of times, let me just say this before we
Sure.
go further for a second. With anxiety, sometimes you don't even know where it's coming from. Do you know what I mean? It could
Mm-hmm.
be
So
held
true.
over
Yep.
from trauma from your past. It could be held over. You could be bringing it from childhood. It could be held over from it's something that happened to you, ages ago, and it's just always in the background. But it really
Wow.
messes with your life. So in the hypnosis state, and you follow the fear, and you find the initial sensitizing the event, whatever that was. But in my case, I'll say the car accident. Okay, I was in this car accident. I actually was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress because
Mm-hmm.
of the car accident. So there would be fear involved in that. And I survived the accident. Everything was okay. A little bit beat up and a little bit worse for wear, but I survived. So what you want to do is you want to go into the event from the whatever it was for the client, and release the emotion of it, release the fear. Because remember me telling you, all
Mm-hmm.
events are neutral. All events are neutral. We assign an emotion to them. And when we
Mm-hmm.
assign a negative emotion, that event just continues to play on a loop. It doesn't get filed away and put in our memory bank like a positive event would. But a negative event just keeps replaying on the loop, and that's where we get our triggers, and that's really what encumbers us in our life, is having all of that playing in the background. And I think I might have told you this. Your subconscious mind is, you can be 5 years old, you can be 50 years old, if you're 50. If you're not, you're not. But you can be 25, 5. It doesn't, you can be any one of those at any given moment in time, because you're reacting to an event, or you're hanging on to an emotion from an event from that age. So our conscious mind, our thinking mind, we know I'm 29 forever, but that's just me. But
Aw.
I know it worked until the older grandkids got old enough to figure out that I wasn't 29 forever. But anyway, okay, sidetrack. So
I
your
love it.
your your conscious mind knows where you are right now, what's going on, but your subconscious mind is always all over the place. It's everywhere, and that's why people get triggered, and that's why they have these limiting beliefs, and that's why all of this thing is happening. So where anxiety is concerned, they could go back to when they're 5 years old. And what I do is I walk them through the event, and back and forth through the event until they no longer have that feeling of fear. Because obviously, if now they're 45 years old, they survived it. So the fear at 5 years old, which you really can't process because you're too young, you can process the event as an adult. If we go back to the barking dog incident, the dog is viciously barking at a 5-year-old child.
Oh my
freaks
goodness.
freaks the child out. Obviously, that's where in their fear, they're terrified. They can't process that it's just that one dog. To them, all dogs are vicious, and this is why they have these triggers now. And then they don't like dogs, or they're always scared and everything. But if you go back and here's another thing, you can take the adult self back to the child self at 5, and have
Mm-hmm.
the adult self let the child self know that it's okay. It was
Yeah.
just that one particular dog. Not all
Yep.
dogs are bad. It's just
Of
that one
course.
dog.
Yep.
Right. And then
Exactly.
that can release that fear. So
Yep.
then once the fear is gone, like I said, then your subconscious mind can file that away in your memory banks, and it doesn't continue to play on the loop. And that's a very relatable incident of fear, especially for small children. So, and as parents, as functional parents, we need to make sure that children understand, because they can overcome that and stop that from playing in the background. Do you know what I mean?
Yep.
So the parents are supportive and functional, which, parents love their children. They don't want them to grow up to be, have a fear of dogs or anything else going on. But it can be resolved on your own without hypnosis. But if things keep going and going and going and going, and you never get issues resolved, especially traumatic issues, then they come out as these intense emotions, and they come out as anxiety, and a lot of times as older adults and functioning adults, and paying the bills and having the job and having the kids and running the household and doing all these things, but we still have this anxiety that we don't understand where it came from. And it could very well be coming from all the way back from childhood, and it's just been laying dormant in the background and being triggered every once in a while. But that's how, and then when we get overstressed, everything kicks into high gear, and we wonder how to get through a day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. Let me ask, how do we get through the day sometimes with our stress and anxiety? It's an easier said than done type question. It really is. And it just got me thinking about my day with the kids coming in and out, and you with your grandkids. I know it's a lot.
No, I know, right? I mean, it was a lot. It was fun. It was fun. They're going home tonight.
Wow.
I missed them already, but it was fun. But it's a lot. It's different. It's a different routine. But kids are great. Kids are wonderful. But when you have multiple children and a long day, then you're overstressed. You're overstressed, and if you have these triggers and these limiting beliefs from your past, it can build up, build up, build up, and then all of a sudden you have anxiety. So what I do with every client, no matter what they come to see me about, what I do for every client is, and I love it. I learned it when I trained to be a certified hypnotherapist. It's called the gray room technique. And it's really about being inside your subconscious mind. But what it is I give them the image of bringing this gray wall room, and it's like an igloo would look like if you were inside an igloo, okay? So it's round, gray, but there's these red and white bits of paper all over the walls and ceiling everywhere, okay?
Wow.
So on all the red bits of paper are all the negative thoughts and feelings and from your past. Um, Hatred, anger, guilt, shame, everything. They're all over these red bits of paper, okay? So,
Mhm.
and then what I ask them to do is grab all the red bits of paper up, and it takes several minutes for some of them. They grab all the red bits of paper up, and suddenly a hole has opened up in the floor, and they can throw them all in there. And then when they're done, I have them signal me by either lifting their finger or nodding their head, and
Okay.
they signal
Signal
me
you. I
to
got
let me
it.
know, right, to
Oh
let me know
my.
that they're finished. And I say, okay. So now notice the hole has closed up. All that stuff is gone. It's gone. It's kind of like, I imagine it
Wow.
like releasing the steam off a pressure cooker. You know, like I said, a lot of my clients come to me for anxiety. So I do this technique. First, the life coaching comes in because I let them talk. I let them talk and talk and talk because same thing. They need to release, they need to
Wow.
purge the emotions. So then we do the gray room
Yep.
technique to purge more emotions. Then I talk about the white bits of paper, all the positive, happy, joyful, wonderful, empowering pieces of paper are filling up the space where all the red bits of paper were. So
Wow.
then, and I just tell them, just breathe it in, just absorb
Hmm.
all that white positive energy, all that white light, just breathe it all in. And so, by this time, they're usually smiling, but, filling them with the good positive energy and emotion doesn't allow for the negative emotions to take hold, to be there, because we threw them away anyway. So, and this is what I do with all my clients before I go into whatever specific things they came to see me about. So no matter what they come to see me about, I usually always do this technique because it is extremely helpful to kind of balance, you know what I mean? Rebalance them, get them more on the positive note than on the negative note. So, and then of course I give them a ton of positive affirmations and suggestions and stuff, along with whatever they came to see me about. So, but that's how I handle anxiety, or like I said, whatever anybody comes to see me about. But most of my clients are overwhelmed by life. Life just it's not like we used to see on the Andy Griffith show.
I love it. I love it.
It's busier. It's busier. Everything is instantaneous. With you pick up your cell phone and everything is right there. Life is busy. It's very busy, but we still need to take that kick back and relax time, even to ourselves. Like take a walk. Take a bubble bath. Women like to do that. Just take time for yourself. Read a book. Read something funny. Watch a funny movie. It's true. Laughter is really good for you. There's lots of things we can do to decompress from
Yeah.
the stress. I personally, when I get upset, I clean. Don't ask me why, but I love it.
I'm
I
the
love to
same
clean.
way. I'm the same way.
I I love that sense of accomplishment when everything's clean. Well, I'm glad you're like that too. I enjoy it. And you know what? By the time I'm done with cleaning, I don't even remember what I was carrying on about. You know what I mean? It's like, everything's good and clean now and I feel good. I kind of got that energy out and I feel great. So there's lots of things we can do for stress to help the stress, or I'll plant plants, or I'll grab all my plants and decide to repot all of them. And I just make a mess and there's dirt everywhere. And I'm as happy as I can be because I'm doing what I love. And I'm just messing with my plants. So there's things we can do. So find out what you love, what you enjoy. Get into some of that when you're stressed. And some people like to work out. Some people like to, cook. Some people like to do lots of things. So there's a lot of things you can do for stress. Anxiety, you talk to someone, get somebody else involved, and work on that, because really need to make sure that doesn't get out of control. So I would suggest, calling someone, um, getting hypnotherapy, doing something to help yourself, and overcome, because you can overcome your past. So I'm a true believer in that. I have done it with myself. This is why I like to help other people do the same. So,
Beautiful. Thank you so much. We still got more time to chat here.
oh,
And if you are just tuning in, you're like, who's this amazing lady talking? I'm going to tell you. Uh, Hypnosis for Life, Bobby G, based out of Hickory, North Carolina, but obviously
mhm.
working with so many people everywhere. This
Yes,
is pretty amazing. I like a few weeks ago, we talked about the truth of dare. You do so
yes.
much with your seminars, your hypnosis. What else
Mhm.
is on tap for today? Do you want to add to the conversation?
Um, gosh, I don't know. Like you said, I do a lot of different things. I'm focusing on speaking and reaching larger groups of people. So I am concentrating on that. And then I'm actually, well, I'm not even going to tell you that because I don't. I just going to keep that a secret.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
but I am finishing up my book. Well, I've got three on my plate right now. I've got more folders with more books in them, but I am finishing up my one book, I Chose Life. And I because I almost didn't. So there was that really dark period in my life that I touched on, I think, when we talked our second time. But so I really want to get that out so people can realize that there is hope. You can move forward. You can keep going, and dust yourself off. You pick yourself up, dust yourself off, and keep moving forward. So I really, really want to reach people with that message through that book that I Chose Life. So I'm excited about that, and I guess that's the other big thing that's on my plate right now. So, but
I tell us
yeah.
more about the books. Wait, what's happening?
Well, there's two others right behind it. There's the one to help women avoid the predatory
Mhm.
men, which I've talked about before.
Yep.
Yep. And then, you know, I call it Born into Chaos, because that's what I feel like my life was like in the beginning. I think Did I tell you that I had this idea for a pen name called Willow Phoenix? Did I tell you about this?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Now, follow me on this. Willow, weeping willow, the tree, the weeping willow. Okay. So I feel like the whole first half of my life was just, I cried the whole first half of my life. Phoenix, rising from the ashes and overcoming. So I came up with this pen name, Willow Phoenix. I really like it. I don't know if I'll ever use it, but I like it. So
You pause. You there?
I'm here.
Perfect.
Are,
Okay. I'm
are
like,
you
wait.
there?
I heard I heard Phoenix, and then I saw you freeze.
Yeah, Willow Phoenix. Yeah. The pen name I came up with basically describes my life. Crying the whole first half, and then rising from the ashes and overcoming the past. So, oh, I don't know. It's been a lot. So,
Oh, wow. There's
yeah.
so much on your plate. And
Thank
for
you.
those how do you do it all? Jill of all trades. Is that what it was?
Yeah, Jill of all trades. Yeah.
God bless you. Oh my goodness. And you always inspire people by telling them really like today, tomorrow, like the future is just starting now,
Mhm.
right? And you really are here to let people know that's possible to start living. We all have trauma. We all have been through so much, right?
Right.
And I think people still may be like, well, a little confused. Well, hypnosis, how is that going to help me? What is, we explained this in the past. And for new time listeners, since we have some time, do you mind just talking about how it works with our subconscious and conscious mind again for those new timers
Okay.
out there that may want to tap into? What is this process? Can I really be hypnotized? How does it work? Could you just
hmm
talk a little bit
hmm
about that?
Sure, Jill. Hypnosis is, first of all, hypnosis is a natural state. We go in and out
Yep.
of it all day long.
I was
It's
just
just,
in it. No, I'm joking. But yeah, when
yeah,
you're driving, it happens. Or
exactly. Daydreaming. Um, I like to, 'cause everybody's familiar with this, getting ready for work. You're just doing routine stuff. You're not even really paying attention because your subconscious mind is, you're getting your coffee, you're getting your breakfast, you're brushing your teeth, you're brushing your hair, you're getting ready. You really don't have to pay attention to what you're doing because your subconscious mind has taken over. It does the routine things. Driving somewhere, not remembering how you got there. We go in and out of hypnosis all
yep.
day long. It's a natural state. It's nothing to be afraid of. It's a natural state. And we pass through it right before we fall asleep. So when we did the self-hypnosis session, right before you go to sleep is a good time. And
Yeah.
also, as I suggested, right when you wake up is a good time because you're still kind of in that half-day state. So our conscious mind is our thinking mind. That is our
Mm-hmm.
present, what we're doing in the present moment. We're thinking, we're planning, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're getting through our life. However, our subconscious mind is our emotional mind. That's where our emotions are stored and our long-term memories. Now, our short terms are in the conscious mind, but our long-term memories are in the subconscious mind. It also is where our imagination comes from and everything. So the way hypnosis works, in between the conscious mind, I had a thing somewhere. I don't know where it is. Okay. Wait a minute. I think I know where
Okay.
it is. Um,
No. Mm-hmm.
okay. And let me see if you can see this. Oh, I don't know if you can see it. My light's too bright.
Go ahead. Yeah, I
Can you
see
see
it. I see
that?
it. I see the circle. Go ahead.
Okay. So your conscious mind is on this outside circle, it's your rational, analytical, and then your temporary memory and your willpower. Okay, and then your subconscious is in the inner circle, and that's where your emotions, your imagination, your permanent memory, and our subconscious mind only what do you call it? It's here to protect us, no matter how. That's how that fear of, I think I told you, the fear of snakes was actually bullying by members of her family. This is a case study that I think I told you about. This little invisible fence, I call it, but it's a barrier between your conscious mind and your subconscious mind. That's your critical factor. That is, it's kind of like it judges what it wants to put into the subconscious mind. Okay, and that's a really basic idea of it. But in hypnosis, when you are relaxed enough, the suggestions can get through that critical factor into your subconscious mind. That's where the work is done, in your subconscious mind. So, and I don't know if I told you, but when they're doing, big business is doing focus groups.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, say, I don't know if I can name names, but commercials, what you remember about that commercial. They have groups to watch these commercials and then question them. What do you remember? What do you remember? That whatever they remember, that is what broke through that critical factor and got into the subconscious, because that's what they remember from that. And they will actually pay to have their commercials in the focus group, but they're actually using the critical factor as a basis for being able to determine, the worthiness of their commercial and if their product's going to be remembered. Now, a lot of times we remember the funny thing in the commercial or something like that. Like everybody remembers the Budweiser Clydesdales and stuff like that, but they don't do that anymore. But they actually are aware of this critical factor and the subconscious, and being able to reach deep down in there and get into that. And that's where the work is in. That's where the suggestions go. When you're relaxed enough, you can break through that critical factor and get in there and put the suggestions in. The positive suggestions, the reinforcement, going back and doing regression, things like people want to quit smoking, things like that. You can go into that subconscious mind. As long as you're committed, you have to be committed to what you want to do. But as long as you're committed, then the subconscious mind will go, yeah, okay, that's what we want to do. It's in agreement with you. This is why you can't make people do what they don't want to do in hypnosis, because if they're not in agreement with it, if it's something they would never do, the subconscious is going to go, nah, I'm not feeling it. Not doing it. So you have to be in agreement with it. So, and that's is simply how hypnosis works. So
beautiful. Well, thank you for sharing this, Bobbi G.
You're
And
welcome.
always a pleasure having you. And want to thank you for being here. Tell us how we can contact you one more time.
Okay. Well, my phone number is 828-695-9018. I think I'm having technical difficulties with my website, so you can reach me at bobbi-g-hypnotherapy.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Pleasure. See you soon.
This is the Global Podcast Network, where executives and professionals connect, share, and inspire. Stay tuned for the conversations that drive success.